So basically I just did the entire video and it looked like this, where this stupid Ren'py window was over top of it. I was almost done the video. So hopefully I can do just as good of a job this time around and explain everything to you guys. Already this looks weird, okay? It looks like you're going to be playing Lavar's Life. You're not going to be playing Lavar's Life. This is our actual game, and because the first thing we're going to be dealing with this is going to be in the game, let's hit start and I'll prove it to you. Remember, this is our password that we came up with. If you guys want to know about how to do a password for your game, or add a character's name, which are the two things we're going to see here. Just let me do this first. And then what is your name? We'll hit enter. Doesn't matter because it will come up with the name on its own. I'm going to put a little annotation thing up in the top corner. You guys can click on it and it will take you to the one that specifically teaches you guys how to put a password in and how to put a name of a character in. But we are not talking about those here. We're going to be working on this one here for our game. Okay, the screens one. The RPY screens one. So you're going to click on that for your game and it's going to look something like what we have on the screen right now. I'm taking it off so you guys can see the whole screen. Don't worry about all my other stuff right now. In fact, give me a quick second. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when you first open it up. Okay, it might be kind of intimidating if you're fairly new. It's not as intimidating as it sounds as you get used to it, okay? But it is going to be very important for us to do some of the stuff we're going to be doing here. And the very first thing I'm going to show you guys, there are like lots of things I can show you guys in here. I don't know a good chunk of them, but I could figure them out fairly easy just because I've been doing Ren'py for a while, and I'm sure you guys could start figuring things out too. If you're watching this video, you might be able to figure out some stuff. You definitely need to probably watch my previous video. Each area is labeled, which is perfect. We're going to first start with quick menu. That's the area we're going to start with for this. And you guys probably already recognize some of these things here that are showing. Oops. Kind of. So you guys recognize these things a little bit more. You can actually see them along the bottom right now for the game. And you might not be able to read them. They're very, very, very small. I guess you could make them bigger if you wanted to, but I really don't see why that would be important. And I feel like to do that is a little bit more, like, I don't want to go all over the place because certain things are in different areas. I just want to kind of stick to simple things. You guys already see, you guys can see the back button. You can see the history button. If you can't, you can see roughly where they are on the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, you can see all these things. You notice that quick save is not there. You may notice it. I don't know. It might be hard to see. If you want it there, just take away the hashtag. It's already there in your game. I just put a hashtag because I don't want it there, but it's a quick way of having it back again if I want to. So I just save. You guys can see the quick save showed up. Don't want the quick save. Put the hashtag back in. File, save, and it's gone. Perfect way to kind of add things into your game or take things away but not have them gone forever. Like for example, right now I actually have it set up that there's a song that plays in the main menu. There's music that's playing, but I have a hashtag thing in front of it, so when we get to that part, when I'm doing a video on that, it will be there. Okay, so these things here are those buttons down along the bottom that you see, and you can choose which ones you want to have and what you want to call them. Anything in these brackets here, the first set of brackets, you can change. Doesn't matter. It can be anything you want. I prefer settings over preferences, so I just put the word settings here. That changes it. I don't like quick load. Now that's a little different. So what I have is action, show menu, load. It's instead normally would say action, quick save with the two parentheses with nothing in them. So, or quick save, not quick save, it's going to say quick load. Okay, so instead I have action, show menu, load. You guys can copy that if you want. There is actually another spot down below where you can actually get that information from if you forget it. But yeah, so you guys, I think that all these things are pretty self-explanatory. If you are actually doing Ren'py games, you should know these. You should already like understand what these are. You can have it at different areas. Again, Y, if we put it at 0, 0, it's going to be up at the top. Instead, you can have it at... you can have it all the way to one side for the, like all the way to the left or the right kind of thing. So this is now going to show back at the bottom again, but on the left-hand side, I believe. See? So that's all you have to do is just change those things. You can change it around, have it in the placement that you want. Again, this is using those placements that I was talking about before. You can go more advanced with your placements if you want it, or less advanced if you want it. So we're going to put it back to the middle again. There we go. So that's just a simple little thing here. This is not too hard to deal with. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Really easy. It's quick and easy, just like it is. So now we're going to get into the really complex stuff, and I'm hoping I can explain it to you guys. I'm going to actually make this a separate chapter within this video because you may need to go back and watch it a few times. This is going to look different already than yours when you scroll into this area here, which is the main menu, or main and game menu screens, okay? Navigation screen. I already have if main menu here. This is a little different than how you guys are going to have it in your thing. We're just going to scroll down to where it says else. Okay, this has also changed its location. Before, the if main menu used to be down here, and the else would then be lined up with the if main menu. So it should be in the same line as the if main menu. Okay? Hope you guys are following me so far on that, okay? I may even take away the game video in a second just to make it so you guys are able to see the whole script once we're done this whole little area, okay? So we're skipping the if main menu part, and we're going to scroll down here, okay? So basically what I did is I built my own setup for here. So I put else, so if it's not the main menu, we're going to have, it's going to be a V box. This is a little different than the H box. When you're first making your game and you haven't touched anything in here, this is going to say V box here. So we're going to start with the main menu to make this nice and easy. We're going to go to settings. Just let me do this real quick for you guys. Okay, so this is the main menu, as you guys know. If I change this to V box, which is how it's going to show up for you guys when you first see it, again, this will be over here. The indent will be over further. It's going to be where the if main menu part is. But because we're going to actually be changing this, whether it's main menu or whether it's not the main menu, then we're going to have it this way. So let me just show you guys what happens when I just change that one letter, the V box, or the H box to a V box, which is how you guys will first see yours. Okay, so you guys probably already recognize this kind of setup, except maybe it's a little bit over here, right? It's a little further up and over. That's just the placement of it. I can get into that a little bit with you guys, but already you guys recognize this vertical line of start, load, settings, about, help, quit kind of thing. You guys understand that. So all we did to change that from being a vertical line to being a horizontal line is change it from a V box to an H box. Save. And now we have it down along the bottom. Now, the reason it's along the bottom is because it's aligned, the Y align. We changed that to, I did it to 9.5. This is up to you. Your placement's going to be different. If you want it exactly like mine, that's how you want to have it. Now, when you first get into this area, your thing is going to look something like this. Okay? We don't want this part here. We want to choose our own spot for where it is on like how centered it is, kind of thing. Because watch, if I do this, file, save. See how it's all the way over the side? I don't want that. So instead, I'm just going to hit undo so we can get back here. What I did is I put a hashtag in front of this. Again, it makes it, in case I did change my mind later on, I still have it. But I do know, from knowing how to position things in the game, I do know that if you see X POS, X position, you can put a number beside it. So instead, I just took this part here away and added a number. And this number here is where the start of the of where it says start. See how it says start at the bottom there? That's going to be where it starts. And then all the other words are going to follow behind it. So, save. We now see it's back in the center again. Okay, same type of thing goes on here. We have the spacing. When you guys first get here, it's going to look something like this. Okay, that's what the script is going to look like. Save. This kind of squishes things together, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is the space between the first of each word. So therefore you got a longer word like settings, or preferences, which would then overlap onto the about. You gotta kind of change things around a little bit. So again, we're gonna hit undo. I changed mine to 40. This will be up to you guys as to what you like to see. So I'm just gonna do this. We'll hit save. And there we go. The spacing is a little bit better now. Again, of course, the settings and about are kind of closer together, but it's not overly obvious, and I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I don't know if it bothers any of you guys. So yeah, it's a quick way to solve that problem. Again, there's probably a better way out there, but if you're just making a quick game or whatever, you can at least do it that way. So from here, I built my own main menu. So I picked out which buttons I wanted. They already have them listed in the thing. So what I did is I took it aside and I picked out which ones I wanted for the main menu, because we're going to say if main menu, and we're going to put down each button that we want. So I wanted to have start, which I can maybe even put new game. Let's do that. New game. There we go. Action, start, we'll leave that because you gotta change that other places as well. Just to not get complicated. The people who are playing your game don't see that, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and we want load. Which again, this is where you would get your action show menu load. That's how I got it for the quick menu area. Settings, it says preferences normally. I change it to settings because it's a smaller word, a little bit easier to work with. And I just prefer settings myself. It will still take you to the right area, which is preferences, but it says settings. And it will say preferences in the other thing because I haven't changed that yet. I'll show you guys where to change that maybe in another video just because this is going to be a longer video. I don't think it's overly important just yet, unless you guys are putting your game out tomorrow or whatever. Maybe next week I'll show you guys how to fix that little spot up. We have about, and then if Ren'py PC, I'm not exactly sure about this whole thing. Show help. Yeah, show menu help. These things are fairly new from when I first started making games, I think. I don't remember them ever being there before. But yeah, again, I wanted to have those added in because they were part of the main menu before, so I put them in here as well. Doesn't really matter. You can have anything you want here. So say you wanted to have save, even though you can't have save. Like you can't save a game in the main menu. Let me just show you how this works. So copy. I'm just taking it from the other one. But maybe we wanted to have save in here too. For some weird reason. File. Save. See? Change to new game. You can see here it says save. Obviously quits off the screen now because there's too much stuff going on in here. Again, that would change with spacing. Just change your spacing, that's fine. But we don't need save. So we're going to get rid of this. Just build your main menu the way you want it. So now we'll do save again. Now let's see how this is looking because we got new game instead of start. Okay, so this kind of maybe that's why I did have it 55 in my previous thing. Let me see if that makes it look better. I could change this to load game. I just feel like it's way too big of a space in between. Save. There. Then we can change the Y alignment if we wanted to. You know what? We could go into all these little details. Like, it's just going to take a long time to do. Let me just... Oh, no, not Y alignment, sorry. X alignment. We have it at 2. We can have it at 2, we'll just put 1, 5. 1. There. Okay, so yeah, you can just do that. We'll do that for this situation. So we're only, again, playing with the main menu. We're not playing with anything else. Although, when I go to settings, we do have some issue here with the return button. I think that comes in at another spot. So we're not going to actually get into that with you guys right now. Just because, yeah. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to spend the whole time talking about different things here that are a little problems. There is a spot, if you guys search for it in here, search for the return, and it'll show you, and then you can choose its placement, okay? I'm not going to go into it in this video. We'll probably go into some other little minor things in another video, but we're just going to hit return. I just want to make sure that each button does react to my mouse, which is important. Return. So now we're at this here. Again, you can play around with like spacing and stuff like that. You can change it. Don't say new game. Have it be start or whatever. So yeah, we got that set up. Good. So anyways, you guys can see that's how it looks in the game. A little different once we start the game. So let's start the game. But now we want to go to settings down here. And we are no longer in the main menu anymore. So now it's else. We have VBox instead of HBox up here. We have VBox. This is the settings I have for this here. It's a little different. And then you can see I have some buttons. Now you can choose which buttons you want to have. I don't have history in here because you can click history out in the quick menu. It's not that important, and I feel like it's kind of pointless for this. So... in this area anyways. Same with about. I took out about. At this point, you don't really need to click on about. It's up to you guys, I guess. If you want to have them, you can have them. If you don't want to have them, that's fine too. You will notice a couple little things are different too. I also don't have the voice showing up down here. That's in a different video. I will talk to you guys about that. Very simple stuff. I don't want to get into it in the complex video here because this is pretty complex stuff. So again, once again, I built this my own. Just by taking, you just copy and paste which ones of these you want in here and which ones you don't want that are not going to be in the main menu. Like, you're not going to have main menu in the main menu. That would be silly. So if it's not main menu, these are the things that you have. Okay, and I have this hashtag here because this was actually for the main menu thing here, and I preferred it right up at the top. Nice and easy. It doesn't matter because you're not in the main menu. This is needed if you have it the other way, if you have it set up the other way, but in this case, this is if main menu. So these things here are only in the main menu. And then these things here are if it's not in the main menu. So if you're in the game or something else, I guess you could be somewhere else and click on settings. But anywhere else, this is what's going to show, okay? So I hope that kind of makes sense. I am going to take away the game screen for a few seconds here, so you guys can see the whole thing. So there, I want you guys to be able to see. So this is the starting of it. This is what it looks like and how I built it. We're going to stay up here just for a few seconds while I just talk to you guys about random stuff. And so you guys can kind of see. Hopefully it's easy enough to see with the blue coloring. I'll take the blue coloring off in a second. You guys can pause if you need to. And it goes down to about here. You want to make sure indents are correct with it. That's always a problem sometimes with these things. Make sure indents are correct. Anytime that you have a colon, you make sure that it's indented afterwards. And just follow the lines. And let me take this off. You can see sort of how the you can see the lines showing how the indents are and what it should sort of look like. And we're going to go down to else. So this is what happens if it is not the main menu. This stuff here. Again, you don't need to copy that. This is the stuff you need to know. And so what it should sort of look like, again, up to you. And you may have other buttons that you want to have the text button. You may have other areas. You may have other screens you want to add. Maybe if you go into here, maybe you can go into a character sheet or something, which is going to be happening in my new game. So I will talk a lot more about different screens and how to set up different screens when I am done my next game, because right now I'm in the process of learning it. So I don't want to talk to you guys when I barely know the topic. So yeah. Take this off again so you guys can now see easily with those lines where the indents are, how that works. If you guys have any problems, let me know. I can try to help you as best as I can with it. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about, because I want to try and get screens done today for the most part. We have... Where is it? I believe there's a title. Just give me one quick second. We're going to have a little jump here. Okay. So we're back. I'm just going to bring up the game again. You notice how preferences is listed way over to the side compared to how it normally is. It might be something like 20, I think it is normally. Well, maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe it's like 60. It's something like that. It's up to you where you guys want to put this label. To be perfectly honest, I'll probably put it like that anyway. Or whatever it normally is. I don't normally change it, but I just want to show you guys where you can change it. So if you need to, I'm just going to highlight this area here. Let me just scroll up to show you guys what... So it's in the game menu screen area of the screens. If we just scroll down to where it says Style Game Menu Label. It's this number here, and it can be... I don't know what the highest number it can be, but it's crazy high. Like, I think I had it at 600 when I was showing you guys before. Let me just see, I think it is at 600. It's like 800 and something or whatever is the highest it can be. So this is a little different from your other positions that you're used to. When you see XPOS, this is a big number that you have. And I think, where does it have max size is 920. Let me just try that. 920. File, save. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. Shows all the way over to the side there. But it's however you guys want to have it set up in your thing. So I'm just going to actually put it at 60 for right now. And it will always show up all the titles for your game menu screen. Or your game menu label is going to be changed with this. Okay? So that's how you do that. Again, spacing, you guys understand that. So when you get into this area, you can kind of see what you're looking for. Yeah, because I need to show you guys how to do that. Give me one quick second. There's going to be another jump. Okay, so this is another very important thing. So you guys might have noticed that mine was a little different. If you guys go into load and suddenly your things are just matched up with that, this is where you fix it. Like you can see, it's kind of, you know, your help and try and get to number 8, you know? There we go. There we go. Kind of thing. This is how you fix that. So you're going to find, it's in the same one we were just in before, I believe, the game menu screen. You're going to want to fix this. If your words are along the bottom in the same position that mine are, it will affect your stuff there. So you're going to put bottom padding for, this is the game menu outer frame. Changes to 80. I'm going to go File, Save. And it brings it up. Okay, so now it's no longer down with all the other stuff. Your mouse still interacts with these perfectly fine, still interacts with these perfectly fine. So yeah, I want to show you that because in your main menu that's going to be a problem. Not so much when you're playing the game if you have it set up the way I had it set up, where these words here are along the side. Then it wouldn't matter. But in the main menu, if you guys, again, have it the way I have it, then this is how it would kind of mess up a bit. Or if you guys wanted to keep it, these words down along the bottom, say you didn't want them along the top, then that's how you can do it. Top padding. We can actually bring that up a bit, can't we? Let's bring that to a smaller number. Not 20, but maybe 80 as well. Does that change things up a bit higher? Maybe a little bit. We can put it to 20. Let's see. I want to see it. I want to see a drastic change. That's what I like. Okay. So yeah, it does move things up a bit if you guys want to move your things around on the screen. Again, if you make your own background for this screen, you're going to want to be able to move things the way you want to move them. This is part of doing that. I'm actually going to probably keep it at 80 because that's not too bad. File, save. And then for the background, game menu. You can change this to whatever you want. Just tell it where to go, where to find your picture that you want. And you can change that, so yeah. I think that that's pretty much all I want to talk to you guys about in this one. Again, we will talk about some other things. If you guys have any questions at all, if you feel you missed something, please ask, even if it's already known. Like even if I said, oh well, like for example, this background, how to do that, I'll show you in another video. But if you feel like you missed something, let me know, because maybe I did miss something and I want to still show it to you guys. So don't just think, oh well, she already knows, you don't have to tell her, she'll show you in another video. Because I might have actually forgotten, because I had to do this video like 3 or 4 times. So, good, I did do it right. And it is just stuff in the options. We'll go over, I'll bring it up, maybe you guys can kind of see how things are done a little bit in the options. But we'll go over some of that stuff, like for example, very quickly, show name, we could have it show the name. True. Save. See? Now it says test 2 at the bottom. We don't want that. Because, I mean, you might want it, but in my case, I don't want it. My background will say the name of the game, which is not Lavar's Life, even though it's saying that, but whatever game I make, I like to put my own words in. So, we'll just say false. File, save, and it takes that away. Boom. There we go. Again, you want to have your own background. Or here's where I have the song. Just put it in here. So it has its own song. Hashtag, we'll get rid of the song for now. Again, if you guys want to have a song, make sure when you start your game that you put stop music at the very top in your script. Everything else is just simple little things. I don't think I need to show you guys anything else in here until we go into finishing your game, which we will talk about in a totally different video much later. But for right now, that's about all you really need to know, I think, in here. Yeah, I think so. This is the one we were talking about. We will talk about some of the stuff in here in the next video, I believe. I'll get into this stuff. Or if you guys have talked, if you guys tell me anything I missed, that you feel I missed a bit, I'll go into it. We're not going to get into like major stuff in here. but we will get into some basics. Okay, this was probably the hardest video I'm going to do for a while. I just want to make sure you guys were able to make a start menu the way you guys want it. But other than that, I don't want to overdo it with hard stuff, so we'll go into some easy stuff like changing the font color and you know, font itself and the size and little things like that we'll go into, okay? But until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.